my screen. All right, here we are. You should be able to see my screen now. And so I'm going to kind of tell a story here, kind of how the Electude system is designed. And once you kind of understand the confinements or how the system is designed, then you'll kind of understand why certain things aren't available in Spanish language, and then we can discuss what the possible solutions might be. So if we were to go back in time 15 years ago, there wasn't any content aligned to ASE standards. There was no AST, MLR. There was only this product called Electude Light Vehicle Essentials and Basic, Advanced, and Specialist. Think of this as Electude's generic course build that's translated into as many as 30 different languages. So, for example, if I go in here to Light Vehicle Essentials Advanced, we have very simple titles here. Safety tools, wheels and tires, etc. These I would call are all generic content items. There's nothing aligning them to ASE or any other nation standards. They're just theory courses with lessons and quizzes. That's it. There's no extras, only lessons and quizzes. The nice thing about this is if I'm here in Cooling System Advanced and I go up here to Settings and I change my language from American English to, let's say, even Korean. That's a pretty obscure language, not too many students speak Korean, but in the United States, but you can see that course is available in Korean and all the lessons and everything in there. It's all already made available in the Korean language, as well as Spanish, German, Chinese, you name it. These lessons and quizzes and course titles are made available in all those languages. I better go to my settings here and change this back to American English so I don't get a headache here. But let me change this back to, I thought it was Espanol. American English, there we go. Now we can get back to this here. So, and this worked really well for a good number of years. This is how Electude broke into the United States, was with this one single course. However, what teachers wanted here in the U.S. is content aligned to ASE. So, and in other countries, like in Britain and everywhere else, everybody wanted content that was aligned to their nation standards. So, using this course structure as kind of the, think of it about it as foundation, we identified certain course authors in each of the countries. In the USA, we have a content developer that builds content for the US on what's called a publisher site. And a publisher site utilizes Electude's DIY tool, and it allows people in those countries to create unique courses for that country. And that's how we come to have LV Classroom AST Mast, LV Classroom MLR, anything with these designators, MLR, AST Mast. These courses were all built in the U.S. by U.S. content experts, but in the U.S. language. So, in other words, when they were developing these courses, under settings, these people had their language set to American English. And then when they went over here to courses, self-made, and they clicked the plus and they designed a USA MLR, I'm just kind of using this as an example. What's my language in? It's in English. And so when they added this course, that title for this course is only available in what language? In English. This does not exist right now in Spanish, in German, and any other language. Even if I put modules in here that are um, translated into 30 plus languages, if a student would change their language from anything other than US English, none of the content would show up. So I'll just demonstrate that. I'll go here to LV Classroom AST Mast, and you 25-26 version. Here we go, and you can see there's some credits there, and here's all these course titles. Now, if I go over here to settings and I change my language from English American, I'm gonna keep it in English, but I'm gonna change it to British English and see what happens here when I change this language. You'll notice that everything is untranslated now and unviewable by any student who changes their language from American English to anything other. So if I go inside here in this course, you can see untranslated, untranslated, untranslated. Now finally we get into this course untranslated, and we finally see some content that's in British English, but because this title is untranslated, it's unviewable by students. So I'm just going to pause for a moment and let that sink in. Do you kind of see the issue or the problem when we yeah. And that's kind of you could say it's a limitation of our platform, but indeed we do provide multilingual courses, basic, advanced, and specialist, but this is generic and there's no extras. It's just lessons and quizzes, no lab sheets, no ebook. It's just the bare bones basic. That's really the only product that we currently sell that's available in many different language. And we have a handful of customers here in the States. Usually they're on either coast. I think we have one or two customers on the East Coast, and up and around the Portland area, I think we have another where it's just a huge melting pot, and they've got students from all over the world. Teacher called and said, I don't need just Spanish. I need like 8, 9 different languages here. And so this was really the only product that worked for that instructor. So what do we do for you? And maybe Paula knows this answer. I didn't check before the webinar started. Which product does
can use? They're using the LV Essentials plus MLR.
Okay, all right. So let's use that then as an example, and we'll discuss some things here that you might do. All right. So let me go to search. Yeah. Oh, I was going to say, where'd my courses go? I forgot that I need to change my language. You can notice here, even under courses, there's no LV anymore. It's because my language is not set to American English. So I even kind of threw myself off there for just a second. Okay. Like, where the heck did those courses go? All right, now I'm back to American English. So we're going to use the product that you purchased as an example here, and what some things that you might do. So we can go into this area here, and what are you teaching now, Ken? What subject?
Go back on this period.
I'm sorry? Oh.
Can you go back?
Yes, sir.
Where you from there?
Yeah, from here? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So here's some things you can do. You can go into the newest version, 25-26. And then you scroll down here, and we're going to pick an area. So what area are you teaching right now?
We're working in safety.
Okay, the safety. All right. So we go to fundamentals and safety. And you could probably copy it at this level. So you'd need to make a copy right here, because this course, A0 fundamentals, all these chapters, all these titles, this is a predefined course. I can't do anything with the language here. I can't edit these courses because it's the predefined Electude course. So step one, after you've identified the course you want to partially translate, we're going to copy it. And this usually takes several seconds here to make a copy.
I'm doing it as I'm doing
Yeah,
it.
that's great. Yeah, if you want to kind of follow along. Perfect. And you should eventually land on a screen here that says copy of A0 fundamentals. And this allows you now, this now which was made of granite, something that you couldn't change, you couldn't modify it. It was a predefined course. Now it's a copy, and it turns into a soft piece of clay that you can now kind of mold and edit and change. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to click the little pencil, and I'm going to call this Spanish A0 fundamentals. This just for my own purposes here, okay? I'm still in the U.S. language, but I want this to show up in U.S. English that this is the Spanish version of A0 fundamentals, okay? You could click the pencil and you could translate all this information in Spanish, but I don't think that's really useful information, so I'm just going to blow that out. We could even get rid of that. It's your course. So we're going to get rid of that description to kind of clean that up a little bit. Then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to pick a chapter that I'm going to translate. So chapter 1, Introduction to Automotive Service. We'll do this one. Well, this one here, I'm going to tell you right off the bat that this one here is not going to work to translate this one, because all this content in here, you can see the duration is, there's no time. These are DIY book modules. Notice it has an ASE badge there. So guess what? This was content that was built for the US, in the US, under which language setting? American English. There is no version of this book content in any other language because it was developed here in the States. This is a DIY book module. So I'm not even going to probably really bother translating this course, this course, because it's not going to be available largely in Spanish. So when I go back to A0 fundamentals, I'm probably just going to blow this course out because it's not going to be available to students anyway. So we're going to delete chapter 1. Or you could leave it in there and students have to change their language back to American English to view it. So I guess we could do that. Chapter 2, Safety in the Workplace. There's some, this theory content would be translatable, and so would the quizzes. So here's what we're going to do. With Chapter 2, Safety pulled up, we're going to go to Settings. I'm going to change my language to Latin Spanish. Make sure you pick this version. This other Spanish version, this is European Spanish, and the student would probably be able to understand most of the words, but there is a unique Latin American translation. So we're going to click on that, hit OK. So now we're under the Latin translation. We go over here, Chapter 2, Safety in the Workplace. Remember that title, because now it's going to be untranslated. So we're going to, while I'm in the Spanish language, I'm going to click the pencil. You could put this in Spanish if you want to, but I'm just going to put Chapter 2. And then I'm going to put in parentheses here in Spanish. Okay, hit OK. And now that is now available in Spanish. Now down here, these are still untranslated. Now the only thing that's going to be available to students in another language are the theory lessons and the quizzes. This third folder, these are all labs. Those are not going to be translated because those were built in the US. So I'm just going to leave that one as untranslated. But I'm going to go into this course, click the pencil. This is Chapter 2 Theory. Let's put Spanish. Hit OK. Now that's translated. So if I go back to Chapter 2 now, there I see that's now translated. And this one here is the quiz folder. So we click on that one next, click the pencil. Chapter 2, quizzes. Spanish. All right. Now, now I've got chapter 2. It's ready to go, and I can assign this to students. This chapter. If I change my language back to American English, go back to courses, it's going to be available in there. It is safety. Oh, I guess it's practical. Yeah, practical application. Let's see if there's any. Yeah, if there was some how-to modules, those might be available in other language, but these are all labs, so yeah, we're just going to leave that as untranslated. So here in Spanish Fundamentals, Chapter 2 is ready to go. If we want to do that with hand tools, we go here, hand tools. Here again, theory and quizzes. We change our language to Spanish. Go back to Chapter 3 hand tools, and it's untranslated. We click the pencil. There we go. And then remember, this is the theory one, and this is the quiz one. Practical applications, we're not going to bother translating that. We're just going to leave that the way it is. And now we're going to do this one. And Chapter 3. Theory, Spanish. And see there, all the lessons are in Spanish. Go back to Chapter 3. Here's the quiz folder. Click the pencil to edit. Chapter 3 and tools quizzes. Spanish. Hit OK. All right, now all these quizzes are available in Spanish. Adjust my language back to American English. Go back to courses. Spanish A0 fundamentals. And maybe what I could do here is even change this. Click the pencil. This is English and Spanish, actually.
Yeah, because it's only going to be
Yeah.
selected by the student.
Yeah, right. So now I've got a course that I have these two chapters. Well, this chapter 1, it's going to be available in English only, US English. Chapter 2 is going to be available in US English or Latin Spanish. Chapter 3, US English, Latin Spanish. Chapter 4, I haven't done anything with that yet. So it's only right now, it's only US English. So what I would do, Ken, is probably do the translation work on the as you go.
Yeah.
So in other words, you're going to assign this copy to your class right now. So I'm going to go over here to students, pick my class, and I'm going to let's say this was the US English version, the one I'm going to get rid of that one, the predefined one, And now I'm going to add the U.S. English fundamentals to my class. And now, while students are working on this, I could still go over here to courses and keep going. It's already assigned. Right now, these 2 chapters are available to them. And while they're working on those 2 chapters, it gives me a time to catch my breath. It could be tomorrow when you arrive there at the office. Hey, every day I'm going to just translate a new chapter. So let's do chapter 4 now. So we then go to chapter 4, go to settings. Here again, change our language. And this is mechanical measuring. So you kind of want to take a peek and remember, maybe jot that down or remember that title. This is chapter 4, mechanical measuring tools. Change it to Latin Spanish, hit OK. Go back to courses, untranslated, click the pencil. This is chapter 4. Hit OK. So the nice thing about this is you don't need to translate it actually into the Spanish words. I think students will be fine with that. And then we go down here and we do the theory and the quizzes. So it might take, once you get the hang of this, I think the work will go rather quickly for you. And just do 1 chapter a day. Just as long as you stay ahead of your class, by the end of the semester, you'll have a whole course translated and ready to go for yourself.
And you recorded this and you're gonna share it with me so I can remember.
I'm sorry.
I said, you've recorded this and you're gonna share the recording with me so I can go back and.
Yes, I'll share the recording with you. That's right. Yeah.
Okay. I'm pretty comfortable with what you've shown me.
Yeah. So the nice thing is you don't, all the lessons are already translated. It's just now let's see, there's 3 in the theory here. So it could, let me change the language back to English and see if more than 3 show up, because this can also happen, especially with some of the newer content. They might not have all the lessons translated yet. So let's just make sure, see what we got here, if that count changes. Yeah, see, there's actually more there in English than there was Spanish. So that's something to keep in mind too.
Yeah.
That if the lesson hasn't been translated, it's not going to show up. So
Caller.
all right. So you might have to have the student switch back and forth in their language to see all things, but but that's about as best as we can do. Another
That's gonna help. I mean, that's a big improvement over what we've been doing.
Right. Here's the other option which you can try is you can, while the lesson is open in Chrome, so you have to open the lesson first. Then you go to let's see, the 3 dots over here in Chrome, and then you go to where is that at here? There should be a translation here. Oh, right there, translate. And then you can choose Spanish, and then now you can see that this lesson is translating in Spanish.
That was in Chrome.
Yeah,
this is in Chrome. Okay. And so I don't have to do that. The student can do that.
Right, the student would do it. Right, they just need to know these 3 buttons. They have to open the item first in English, because I think if I leave here, I think it's going to be in English. See, it's in English again because I just changed the web page. So they have to go into the the content area. So,
Okay.
but that it would work with a lot of that book module too. So if I do view ebook, click the 3 tabs, translate Spanish, that's pretty, that's pretty slick. I mean, it works pretty well. A
And
lot
the
of teachers are
work
doing
would still
this.
be saved and everything as if they were doing the written English, right?
Yeah. So then you wouldn't have to translate anything. You wouldn't have to change content. You just leave what's there and just direct the student, show them, hey, open the content in Chrome, click the 3 little buttons, go to translate, and they would over time figure that out. Now, is it going to be 100? Is it going to be perfect? Probably not, but it's better than nothing.
Yeah, right. No.
So those are kind of your 2 options. Either you could go the extra mile, copy the course, translate it, but still there's going to be holes. Knowing that, with this option, there's going to be fewer holes, but just a little bit more work for the student. And of course, they're going to be, every time that they exit, it's going to go back to an English page, and so they could get lost here. Like, I don't know where I'm at now, but they could
Yeah, but
temporarily, keep going to translate from each new page, and then they go, oh, okay, yeah, I understand this. Oh, okay, yeah, and then go into the lesson. Here again, it's switched to English, but they can start the module, and then 3 buttons again, translate. That would probably, obviously, depending on what your time constraints are, this would be another
Darcy,
solution.
go to the next question. Will the student have to translate every single? No, it's stayed.
No, it looks like it's working, so
Yeah.
that's nice.
Okay. No,
Even when I switch pages, it seems to be.
okay.
So that's pretty nice.
That's for me. That's the way to go because like I said, I'm only doing this accommodation for one student.
Right. If it's just one student, then to have to go through all that extra work, yeah, that would be. So maybe experiment on your own a little bit. Yeah, those 3 little buttons there. It's possible that other browsers have it. I'm just familiar with Chrome
Our
for the
school
most
district.
part. And a couple years ago, that this feature didn't work all that well, and we didn't really recommend it. But they've greatly enhanced this and improved this feature within Chrome. So I think most of the teachers that have been using this they've been pretty happy with it.
Yeah. No, that was good. And then, if I want to go ahead and build a series of lessons for them, I can.
Right.
And just to show him how to translate it and let him rock and roll. He's a pretty bright kid.
Yeah.
He doesn't lean real heavy on his shop.
And it might help him learn English too a little bit better, being able to see it both and using that button. It'll probably help him transition a little easier too, to put some of that responsibility on him.
Well, he's motivated, so I think it's not gonna overwhelm him to have to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, good. Yeah, that's very helpful.
Okay. Well, I'll send you the link to the video just in case you want to do the latter. But
Yeah.
I think it sounds like we determined what we're going to do here going forward, and um, so
Yeah, I think I've got the answers I need.
all right. Well, very good. Well, thank you, Ken, for taking the time out of your morning to meet with us, and we'll let you get on with your busy day.
Yeah,
Sounds
thanks,
good.
Darcy. Thanks for running through that with Ken.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
You all take
All right.
care.
All
You
right.
too.
Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye.